What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com. If you're a blind film critic and something very bad is gonna happen, it's on Netflix. This is season 1, episode 1. Audio description done by International Digital Center. It's narrated by Jabari Gray. It has a new writer whose name I didn't instantly memorize. The series stars Camilla Marone as Rachel and Adam DeMarco as Nikki. I think that's right. Uh, I don't know them. We don't know each other. And it's from the same person who brought us brand new cherry flavor, and it's also got the Duffer brothers on as producers. So in case you're wondering where this is headed, not great. If you would like for me to continue to recap this series, this is me gauging interest. I can do that for you. I'm not going to do that if this video gets 5 views. So, this is a recap / review of the first episode of Something Very Bad Is Going to Happen. The whole thing dropped, but let's dip the toes in. So, at the top of the series, we see sort of a flash forward of what will come, but it's all carefully edited, so it doesn't really reveal too much, except for the fact that likely some crazy shit is down the road for us. And then we flash back to the couple. It goes 5 days earlier, I believe, is when it cuts back to, and we see Rachel and Nikki, and they're driving in a car together. And Rachel has, there's a lot about her, black nail polish and stuff like that. She's she's not like a girly girl type character. She's immediately sort of painted as somebody who is strong, capable, opinionated, those kind of things. Not easily frightened or whatever. And Nikki seems charming, and they have a nice banter back and forth between each other, even though something very bad is going to happen. And so they're on this road trip, and she starts to fall asleep, and then she doesn't, because she wakes up at the last minute. And then so she asks Nikki to talk to her while they're driving. And then so he starts telling the story about this ice cream shop. I don't remember the name of it. And the guy that owned it, and how he was a serial killer, and the story of how that happened. And they listen to a podcast that's done from the survivor, who talks about how she was in the car with him, and she was pregnant at the time, and she saw that he had like a little Barbie doll shoe or something in the car. And so she thought she could try to reason with him, because he was the father and she was pregnant. And then he just kind of reached out and slit her throat, and then dumped her out the side of the car on the side of the road. Somehow she survived the throat slitting, made it to like a gas station, and there was a couple there that helped save her life. So she made it to the podcast. Anyway, so that was in their backstory. And then they're going to show up they keep driving. They do things back and forth. Like they do this thing where they drive through the tunnel, and they hold their breath and try to get through that. She sees some eerie things off to the side of the road. There's like a dead fox and some stuff. Pretty much everything ends up getting telegraphed. This feels very much like it's I haven't seen the end of the series, so I don't know where we're headed with it, but it feels very much like it's an allegory for getting married. So it's sort of like what Darren Aronofsky was trying to do with Mother, but this feels sort of like what they're trying to do here with the impending nature of marriage. There are things that are shown specifically, and they're just repeated. So like obviously he brings up the story about the ice cream killer, which is going to come back into play. Duh. But they show up at this gas station place, and there's just like a baby in a car with like hip hop versions of, I mean, like it's got some serious bass to it for a car with a baby in it. Like, I was like, "Who is this?" I mean, like, technically, it's playing, like, "Row, row, row your boat," but it's playing, like, the most aggressive versions of nursery rhymes. Um, and I'm like, "I don't know, is this good for a baby's ears? It's still growing, man." So, it's like, where are the parents? So, she goes inside, leaves Nikki outside, and, she goes into the women's bathroom and looks around, doesn't see anything. Supposedly while she's in the bathroom, Nikki went in the men's bathroom and found nothing. Um, but while she's in there, she has some creepy moments where she sees the little Barbie doll shoe thing on the ground that was described in the podcast, and she also finds the dead fox again that is on top of a broken toilet, and it's like splayed out to where its like stomach is ripped open. There are a whole bunch of like dead kits inside, which are, it's probably again an allegory for something. um, but there's nothing really in here, even though she hears like a creak, like there could have been somebody who crept up behind her and it just wasn't. So no adults around, baby's still in the car. So she decides that she has to drive and get some help because they don't have cell phone reception wherever they are, or phones. I don't remember which one. They can't call anybody, is the point. So she takes the car and leaves Nikki there with the baby, drives down to like the next gas station slash rest stop, goes inside to this really lethargic gas station employee who gives her a phone, makes a joke about how that's not her name on the name tag, and that the boss was too lazy to print a new one, so they just keep wearing the same one for whoever was the guy that worked there before, Benjamin, I think. Um, so she's able to call the cops. We never see them. She goes over to like a gumball machine, and then she also walks around because she gets kind of like creepy vibes all the time. It's very unsettling. The way it's shot, the way everything's paced, the whole thing is very unnerving. She has the keys between her fingers, so in case she needs to turn around and cut somebody or punch somebody. So there's somebody that comes up behind her, and it's this like quiet, creepy old guy, and she kind of jabs him in the hand with her keys. Jabs him in the hand with and the key like goes in, and he just like smiles at her and then like calmly removes it. So it's super creepy, and he says something like, uh, "He's the right one" or something like that. And then she's like kind of just creeped out by the whole thing and just leaves and heads back down to Nikki. And she sees his car. He has like a, was it a Just Marry, like a wedding van or something like that. He has some van that they've also passed earlier on on the road. And the old man, is he real? Is he not? I don't know. She gets back down to Nikki. Nikki's been punched in the face, and the car is gone because the parents came back and took. And what had happened was, what Nikki says is that it was like a husband and wife, and like she had gotten sick, so they went for a little bit of a walk, and they were down the road in the other direction, I guess, that Rachel drove from. And when they came back, they thought it was weird that Nikki was there by the car, and I guess the guy punched him in the face, and then Nikki was able to explain, and whatever. We weren't there for it. So she feels bad because he has a black eye. He's like, "Should we wait for the cops?" And she's like, "No, let's get out of here." So they head. They continue on. Eventually, they reach this cabin, which is not a cabin. it's, it's like there's a mansion in the woods. Um, Apparently, Nikki is stupid rich. His parents are stupid. They just have this crazy ass mansion in the middle of the woods. Um, and things keep getting unsettling where she sees like there are these taxidermy dogs that we spend a lot of time talking about, like, don't look them in the eyes. She's like, well, I looked one in the eye, what's gonna happen? It's like, I don't know, probably not good. You're on a show called Something Bad Is Gonna Happen. I would think not good if he told you not to do it and you did it anyway. So the family's all there. They're all kind of weird, eccentric, creepy. I kind of would have preferred how like in Get Out, how you sort of get at least the vibe in the beginning that everything is okay. They don't really portray that here. Like, this is not a family where you go, oh yeah, this people are totally normal, or oh, there's warm people. Oh, the sister seems chill. Like the sister, when there's a portrait, by the way, where they have a seat. They have like Nikki standing in a chair, and there's like an empty seat for whoever he marries, so they can just paint her into the portrait. And they point out the fact that his sister, like they, or yeah, sister, I think it's a sister or brother. Was it brother that they painted over? Anyway, one of his siblings has been remarried, and they painted over the spouse's face. So it's like it's the same portrait, and they just keep anyway. So she goes in, and then the sister starts telling the story, which is another like random horror story. And I was like, God, they're gonna show this one. You know, like everything, anytime you bring up anything, it's a weird thing to just sort of bring up too. So she starts telling the story about, ends up somebody getting gutted. I'm like, okay, so someone's getting this, we're gonna see this in the show too. But no, things just keep getting unsettling. They go upstairs, um, and Rachel and Nikki end up having sex, but they're having sex underneath on their bed. Above their bed is this large, again, taxidermied bear, like dead bear with like a roaring mouth. And I'm like, none of this feels great. There's a scene where like Nikki walks past some like chest or something like that, where there's like, sounds like somebody's inside of it. But anyway, Rachel goes back downstairs, and she hears something. She sees somebody come in, and there's a woman standing there in the middle of the living room, which you kind of step down into. And it's Jennifer Jason Leigh, and she seems out of it. And she is caught by her, I'm gonna guess husband, Ted Levine, is in this, the two biggest stars in this project. And he takes her upstairs, and she drops, and Rachel's like, no, I'll see more of you later, you know, we'll talk later. And so he carefully escorts her like she's a crazy person back upstairs. She drops a wedding invitation that was Rachel's wedding invitation on the ground, and she opens it, and inside it says, "Don't marry him." Dun dun dun. So we're left wondering, and then it hits you with that something very bad is going to happen. The title. So yeah, that's episode 1, basically in a nutshell. That's getting you through it. If you want me to continue to talk about it, otherwise I would just leave you with the information of it's very unsettling. The first episode is not graphic or gory that much, except for I guess like the dead fox. There isn't a whole lot here, unless there are some images flashed at the very beginning with the really quick sort of like, there's a wedding at the beginning. It's maybe about a minute, and it sort of is like rapid cuts of people fighting and arguing, but also happy moments of the wedding too. So it doesn't really reveal too much as to like where the series is headed. I like the acting. I like the banter between Rachel and Nikki. And everybody seems to be strong. It does feel like it's pushing the unsettling nature. I was obviously immediately reminded of, you know, Ready or Not, which is just out. Like, it feels like Nikki's brought somebody into this, and it's like, can we even trust the people who are here? It has very much that unsettling vibe of things that have come before it. And I'm interested to see how this series departs from other things that have been done like it before, and whether or not it can. It has excellent audio description. And I would say right now, in case I don't end up reviewing, it's looking like I would say it's floating around an 8, maybe. Just because for mood in general, I was watching this, I was like, I'm uncomfortable. Like the whole time it managed, without doing much, without like ripping anybody's face off or having like 1,000 jump scares, it is really good at maintaining a mood of unsettling. Like, it's very uncomfortable and unsettling the way that it's directed and acted and everything. I was also reminded a little bit of I'm Thinking of Ending Things as another comparison. So that's it. Those are my thoughts. If this does well, I'll do another episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.